I'm Dr. David Chiawo. I'm a scientist from Strathmore University. I'm a senior lecturer. I teach at the School of Tourism and Hospitality, and I'm the dean of the school. My interest majorly is in conservation research, biodiversity conservation. I'm a special ecologist with a qualification in zoology, conservation major. The current project that is funded by Global Biodiversity Information Facility has the interest of advancing utilization of biodiversity data. Now, Biodiversity Information Facility creates one of the largest portals you can ever think about in terms of consolidating biodiversity data across the world. Now, GBIF, that is the Biodiversity Information Facility, is an intergovernmental agency. And all governments across the world actually compete for grants from GBIF. Now we are fitting into the gap on the Kenya Vision 2030 agenda on capacity development for wildlife management. The projection is looking at what's called evidence-based adaptive management. Now you can only do evidence-based adaptive management when you utilize data to inform conservation policy. So the gap is, how do you build the right capacity for Kenya to enhance utilization of data on biodiversity? But not only utilization, sharing, active sharing of biodiversity data. So our project is looking forward to resolve this kind of lapse in terms of the capacity for utilization and sharing of data, but at the same time, data is available, but there's not enough information that has been taken out of them to inform conservation policy in our country. Yeah, in research, there are always very key challenges. Number one is money. So what we've done in the past, like in 2020, we put a lot of energy in collaboration, building a strong front towards competition for grants. Number two is about collaboration, effective collaboration. And I think it's good to build a collaboration based on interest and also based on energies. Publishing is also a challenge, but I think for us in this front, we have structured a model where we'll be able to get funds allocated towards publishing. So we're going to work with them from the word go so that we're able to release standard papers that meet the standards of the publisher, and then they will be able to fly out on open access within the due time. We know biodiversity development in Kenya is not at really where it's supposed to be. But with the kind of natural resource we have and the pattern of land use, dynamics of climate change, the Center for Biodiversity Development through this grant is setting a pace to do more research on climate change and biodiversity conservation, to set up the pace for biodiversity conservation and livelihoods, to set up that space for biodiversity development and ecosystem services. And the model, you can never stop thinking about capacity development for early careers. You can never stop thinking about capacity development for graduate students. But we are patching along with conservation industry. What we say they should be able to know, and that's what I was talking about in conservation or science and policy interface. We must feed into conservation policy through scientific data. So for me, I would really want to encourage young people who are interested in research. It is really the space. There's no beauty as doing your work, but at the same time influencing others and influencing practice. Science gives you that perfect space. So I would welcome most people. When the center is up, the Center for Biodiversity Development cuts across. We talk about wildlife policy. That's really legal. We talk about business of conservation. That's business. We talk about IT that drives biodiversity agenda. So nobody is left out. If you look at economics, when you're talking about sociology of a people and conservation, now you realize humanities finds a big space. So we are really creating an all-encompassing space that will be able, everybody come in and out, really trying to inform conservation agenda. So we welcome everyone, and that's the beauty of this space.